Okay, I got a glare here because I'm in my RV, but let's roll on with this. It's on you. I'm gonna post on YouTube, so I gotta pause every now and then, but I won't narrate on my narration. Okay, I'm gonna play a little bit of Carol from Neverlosetruth Truth here. She is showing a clip from Mike Morales talking about the weather and the fires in Superior, Colorado. And no, I do not believe Mike Morales or Dutch Sense either, or not 100% legitimate either, because you do not know who is truth propaganda. But let's see what he had to say here.
Shows a grid of fire in Colorado.
What's up? Actually started. I mean, they're just starting. If I go up one day or a couple days, wow. I had it where it was showing. I may have to change the layer. Okay, here we go. Maybe it's a layer. Okay, yeah, check this out. So right here, the fires, there's no fire smoke. And I checked the layer there like an hour. I checked the layer there like an hour later. Or however much. Okay, whatever site he's using, it's a fancy one, shows all these layers. He just showed the fire, and he said, well, he says there's fire, but there's no fire smoke. I don't give a shit if it's a dew fire or not. You cannot have a fire without smoke. So maybe it's a lag in the satellite system or what, I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like these bullshit channels do and pretend to know. But you cannot have a fire going without smoke. Okay, let's keep going. Especially one that big. But now we got smoke. They don't give you a timestamp on these. See, no timestamp. I looked on the wind maps. They said there was 115 mile an hour winds. And I went and looked at the wind map. I can't find any 100 mile an hour winds. Nowhere. Not at the surface. I'm looking at like 20 to 30 mile an hour winds. And I'm back on the timestamp when the fire. Okay, no, according to this satellite imagery he's going by here and all these layers, there is no 100 mile an hour winds. I'm not going to show the footage. We've all seen it. We've all seen that there's hundreds of hours of different news cameras, cell phones, helicopters, a guy in an airplane flying out of, I think it was somewhere out there in Superior because they said he was leaving. But anyway, so we saw all those, we've seen all that footage. The flames are practically going horizontal. Matter of fact, they are. And so if you catch the right footage, you can see the embers blowing horizontally across it. I mean, it's just a shame. Like, who do we believe? Do we believe what Mike Morales is showing there? Was there a lag in the system? Is he doing his propaganda shit, or was all the footage we saw, all the live footage we saw, was that all CGI, which is extremely possible? And another thing I want to point out is a few years ago, Richie from Boston, Carol from Neverlosetruth Truth, Lisa Haven. They all used to carry Dane Wigington's videos, and then they quit all at the same time. So who did they receive their marching orders from? And I'm going to say it again right now, and I know this is true. Richie from Boston and Carol from Neverlosetruth Truth get a lot of their geoengineering information, their weather warfare information, their chemtrail information from listening to Dane Wigington's weekly Saturday videos or from his website. How do I know? Because when he brings up something new, they follow up shortly thereafter, a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever. Without fail, it's a pattern. It's a pattern. But anyway, those were at least 3. There was more channels that would carry him live, have him on as a guest, and they all dropped him at the same time, something like 4 or 5 years ago. So again, who did they get their marching orders from? And when I lost my last 2 channels, especially 2 channels ago, I lost quite a few videos I had done on Carol from Neverlosetruth Truth. So I'm just going to do a quick background. Show her she's been a scamming, hustling bitch. She plays the older, disabled lady, and her main victims, her main subscribers, who she leeches off of and sucks out of and manipulates, are older couples. She was in South Carolina, I believe. She'd already gotten thousands and thousands of dollars of money out of people, as she admitted. By her own admittance, she's lived with she's now on living with at least her fourth subscriber. Before she left South Carolina, she went on that pity thing. Oh, I'm getting evicted. And she's a cat lady. She had a nasty, smelly, stinky, trashy apartment, which is why she never showed videos inside her apartment. And I guarantee you, I don't know her. I can't say, well, yes, I fucking can. She was a cat. By her own admittance, those 4 cats she had, she admitted they were stray feral cats, and she imprisoned them in her house until they got used to her and, of course, didn't want to go out anymore. She got a minimum of $5,000 out of people, supposedly to put a down payment on a house. She blamed it on another lady for losing that lease or move-in time or whatever. Then she went and sucked, I don't know how many more thousands of more dollars out of people, and bullshitted that that Christian couple in Montana to go live with her. Then she does the same thing as Richie. She'll get somewhere. People figure her out and they don't want her around no more because she's a lazy, worthless, nothing bitch who wants to do nothing but sit on her ass and make videos all day and kiss her cat, lick her cat's ass and ignore the people. So these people got tired of her. And she kept doing, the last straw for them. The last straw for them is I didn't want a cupcake or a muffin or some horse shit. So she started putting out videos. Oh, I need somewhere to go where somebody will house me or get me my own apartment and just leave me alone. Don't talk to me. Don't socialize with me. This is literally what she said. But other things she did while she was in Montana, she mentioned how she had trouble. This was in a cabin, so it was somewhat secluded. She admitted she was having problems with neighbors. Well, how would she be having problems with neighbors if she was also not carrying her shit to the neighbors? She started bitching about how she said she talked to these people at least 8 months before she went to Montana. Then she starts putting out these videos. Oh, I didn't know it was secluded. I didn't know it was something like an hour and a half to go to do real shopping, which I assume meant a Walmart. She started bitching about how, my car's so unreliable, I can't do an hour and a half both ways. Well, you didn't mind driving that piece of shit car from South Carolina to Montana, then driving that same car from Montana to Maine. That piece of shit, then your car is okay. But anyway, she went through and did various videos begging people, looking for somebody to go move in with. She mentioned a few, but of course the overall riding factor was, Carol, wherever I want to go, leave me alone, get me a room, get me my own apartment, get me my own cabin, and leave me alone and pay my bills, which is exactly what she's doing. And I was going to go find the video, but I don't give a shit that much. I went through this one video she did shortly, just like a week or two before she went to Maine. She did this video. It was a long one, at least an hour. Literally half of the video was showing various shootings or muggings or robberies or carjackings at gas stations and truck stops because she was getting ready to go for her trip, so she wanted sympathy and money. Then the second half of her video was her finally telling everybody she was going to go to this lady or whatever in Maine because I think she owned property or something, and she was going to, just leave her alone and let her be and pay all her bills. But anyway, she did this really long video. Like I said, it was literally right in half. Matter of fact, one of the shootings or muggings at a gas station happened to even be in Maine. She's an older lady. She knows how to victimize other older women. That's all she's doing. She has sucked. I'm going to guarantee you, just in the let's go with 3 years, 1 year before COVID, I guarantee you she sucked at least 20 grand out of people, and that's down payment money she's probably got. But let me pause here, check my time, and see if I do anything else. Okay, just over 9 minutes. So the only other thing I'm going to address here, which Carol does address quite often, but like I says, I guarantee you, I listen to what she says compared to what Dane Wigington, go to his YouTube channel. He does a radio broadcast out of California. He puts it out every week. It'll pop out on Saturdays. There's no eye candy. There's no sales. There's no ads. There's no sponsors. Just it's audio. You don't even have to watch. You can drive, or you can watch Richie from Boston and just link it to your TV. Or anyway, Dane Wigington, I guarantee you again, he's right. This whole agenda with COVID is to cover up. I want to post this on YouTube. There's a major agenda and using, to cover up for the food shortages and all that. But the weather warfare and the geoengineering and the chemtrailing is 100% legit, is 100% what's going on and why we got such whacked out, fucked up, dangerous, killer weather patterns all over this planet. It's why our soil is dead. It's why they need the fertilizers to grow shit, because the soil's, month by month, the soil becomes more and more worthless. And like Dane Wigington says, we don't know. When we get these whacked out weather patterns, we don't know if they were intentionally created or not, because as he says, they're called out of control weather loops. And as I've said before, they fucked up the ocean currents and the air currents, the whole atmosphere around the planet so bad that it's out of whack. Like he said, they're playing weather whack-a-mole. Even if they get something out of control that they want to stop, it's literally hitting that whack-a-mole thingy on the head, trying to stop shit, or just letting shit go because they can't do anything about it or don't want to do anything about it. And climate change is 100% legit. When you hear mainstream meteorologists, scientists, anybody, politicians, your average person talking about, oh, we have climate change. We do have climate change. You see it every day outside your window or watching the news or watching your favorite channel. Climate change is 100% legit. It's just what's causing it is what they are being deceptive about. Yes, we have fucked up this planet bad before nuclear before chemtrailing, before fucking up the ozone. Oh, we just went through the day we had that fire. It was cooler. The cold front, the snow wasn't a surprise. It was in the forecast, the stage forecast. But we went, got the fires out starting late that night. The next day when the wind stopped, the temperature started cooling off. It was something like 10 degrees that night, like 14 the next day, 1 degree the next night. We were supposed to have 34 the next day. It hit like 28. But when it was like 9:30 in the morning, I'm dressed in all my cold battle gear to go take my Tasha for a walk or go sit out in the snow. It was 18, 20 degrees, but when you got out in the sun, it felt like 50 degrees because of the UV rays. And there's so many people, if it comes up in the conversation, the heat, people don't get it. They say, oh, well, the temperature is 90 in the sun, but if you stand by a tree, the shade, take one step to the side in that shade, you'll feel the temperature drop 10 degrees or whatever. I try to explain to people, and there's so many people don't know this, the temperature did not drop. The air temperature around you does not change. You are stepping out of those ultraviolet rays. Remember, they had to raise the scale from 10 to 12 because they're getting so bad. That's the UV rays. That's why it's so freaking warm. But, on these cold-ass days we get here in any other state, man, that when it was like 18 or whatever the hell it was, but as long as I was out in the sun, it was nice. I still had to keep my clothes on, but, man, it felt like 50 degrees when it was really 18 or whatever outside. And then it's just, but anyway, this planet is toast. That's why they did that other agenda to cover up for the shortages and act like this and that. And like I said, the countries know what's going on. They're in on it with the geoengineering. They're in on it with that flu crap. And that's why there's not going to be no World War III. You're going to see some minor turf battles because these countries want land, especially to try to get food and crops and water out of. Anyway, I think I got to cut this short. I'm coming up on my 15 minutes. Oh, I'm at 14 minutes, so I got to wrap this up. But it's going to get worse. We're going to see it. It's not even going to be. Matter of fact, we see it now. If it's not week by week, it's day by day. Out of all these out of control weather patterns, the intentional out of control weather patterns, and we don't know which is which. So all these people can make all these wonderful videos in the world they want to, but this planet is toast. It's toast. It's becoming more toasted. It's dead and dying. We all know this because we see the videos. But like I say, talking about the geoengineering, the chemtrails, and weather warfare, that's not a fun, popular subject for people to watch. That's why they're not always consistently putting videos on it. And if they do put a video on it, they got to show as many videos from different disaster scenes as possible to get people to watch. And again, all these channels that are showing all this crap, what's going on with the New World Order, the flu bug, the weather, and all that shit, they will go out of business. They will lose their channels. They will lose so many subscribers. They'll have to talk about something else if they do not keep bringing you every video of the next disaster, the next bad piece of information they could come up with, because that's the only thing you fucking people want to watch. And see you later, bye.